I'm sorry I had to lie to you, Fearne. Do you want to tell her, or shall I? What you really are.
Go. Go right now. Run. Don't get mixed up in all this stuff.
Don't go, Fearne. I haven't done anything to harm you or your friends, have I? And I've had plenty of opportunities. This person's as much a stranger to you as I am. Possibly more. Isn't that right?
I can only surmise that this creature has been sent here by the Unseelie. Your father and I, we went off to do some things to
go save the world? Those are the lies that you told your little girl.
That's not a lie. We're working on things that are important.
Very well.
Oh, just wait. Very confused. You don't know them.
No, but I know where they came from.
And you don't know.
I've never had the pleasure. No.
What does it mean when she asks what you are, Birdie? You've been getting these arcane batteries, these devices, right? What are you using them for?
Important things that aren't privy in mixed company at the moment.
And what is the Unseelie
What is the
court?
Unseelie?
I'm so confused.
Fearne. Run. And she begins to release the fingers from your arm. And immediately begins casting a spell.
No, wait.
And as she snaps, she vanishes from sight. And is going to try and pull from your grasp.
All right.
So I'm going to need a contested
Strength roll.
strength
What
roll.
grasp?
Actually,
Was there a
athletics.
grasp that was cast at the beginning? Oh, yeah.
Athletics from you.
Yeah.
23.
Oh, shit.
She does not pull free. So you watch as suddenly after Birdie vanishes and is released from your grasp, you watch as the individual you knew as Dusk, the artist formerly known as Dusk, her arm gets jerked to the side, and you see one of the tables get shifted and things tumble off onto the side and crash onto the ground. But you watch as their arm holds firm out in the middle of the space.
And we can still see Birdie? Or
No, Birdie is invisible.
She's invisible.
I gave you the opportunity to tell them. Your parents are nothing but a couple of charlatans. They're grifters, important at the Seelie court. Everything they've ever told you is lies. They prey on the foolish and the weak-minded. And they stole from the Unseelie court. What did you think was going to happen?
What we took didn't belong to the court to begin with.
And it belonged to you then?
No, but better in our hands working towards a good goal than being stuck in a vault somewhere.
I shapeshift into the hottest half-elf man that you have ever seen in your life. Orym, invitation still open.
I stab her in the back.
Roll for an attack.
Just 6.
So 6 points of slashing damage to you.
Yeah, I'm not swinging, I'm just pushing in.
Right. So you feel the pain as the blade kind of carves through the outer layer of your armor, finds flesh and digs about 1.5 inches to 2 inches in, missing anything vital, but enough to cause your muscles to seize up. The reaction is yours.
Orym, don't you want to hear what Mama Calloway has to say before you go further with this?
Dear representative, what is your real name?
I am you. You is me. You, Suffiad. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance again.
You Suffiad?
Mm-hmm.
You Suffiad.
Nice to meet you. Pleasure. Oh.
He's going to pull away from your grasp once more.
What are you trying to do?
What are you trying to do?
You see this like intense look in her eye, kind of looking back at you and trying to figure out the right words.
Well,
Look, you were born Exandrian before we took you back to the Fae. You were born under a flash of that ruddy-ass moon, and since we brought you back, that moon's been showing through in the Feywild where it wasn't supposed to be. No one believed us, and we've been looking into it for a while. And so we had to take something to help us figure out what the hell is going on.
wait, I was born under a...
Choose, you believe me or you believe this person.
Okay. I produce, my flame blade at 3rd level, and I stick it into your belly.
Okay. At this point, I think we're gonna roll initiative. Holy shit!
Where'd you go?
I know Erica is here. Got lots of money.
Oh, man. Guys, that was a sexy 20 minutes.
Money.
Holy cow.
It's not prop money. This is my own personal stash.
Sure it is. Crisp.
Dang.
Starts $20 bills.
Dang.
Yo, Matt.
So much has happened.
Just.
Oh, credit card.
Keep it open.
Keep the tab.
You strike at me, and a flaming sword cuts into my shoulder. I grab your hand for a moment and I stare into your face. I'm sorry I had to lie to you.
Why didn't you just tell me the truth?
Would you have believed me?
Probably.
It's a shame then. My bad.
Dusk, no, you. We don't want to kill you, but also we let you go. You can't just go killing Fearne's parents either. I'm so conflicted.
I turn into Imogen. Laudna, why would you want to hurt me?
Okay. Oh, I don't like that though. I don't like that. No.
So that's
Yeah, I
your.
was gonna do something else, but then you go and pull that.
So it's an action.
I am going to cast Detect Thoughts on Birdie.
Ooh, yeah.
Open the fucking book up. Come on.
Let's see. What's up?
Okay. Let me whisper over to you. Well, actually, I'll say, are you gonna diving, pushing
Yes,
past? Okay.
immediately
Let's go.
diving.
On that.
Minus the D4.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Show you the space.
That's why I went for it.
That's wisdom, right?
Yes, it is.
Minus the D4 makes the difference.
Bane.
Guys, D&D Beyond. Unlock all 4 Spelljammer prequel adventures on D&D Beyond at https://dndbeyond.link/cr space.
I played Spelljammer in sophomore year.
Oh, Bane. We should do a Bane children's series.
I don't want to hear all the juice.
Paladin shit.
Wow, this is a long-ass whisper.
She's serving some.
I could do this again.
Into her brain.
D&D Beyond, everybody.
More space.
I know.
She looks like she's.
This is a lot. This is a big dump for 6 seconds.
This is the first time they're going like a second level deacon. Or one of them.
This is
Yeah,
like
she's like she just went on Space Mountain for the first time.
Yeah, kind of.
and we got the photo
Your
and we
nose
can
is
print
waiting,
see it.
Laura.
11. There go one. You know what you want.
So that was your action.
That's my action.
Nice. As Birdie's about to leap off the table towards the entrance doorway, hoping to just push past the tiny, angry gnomish man who's currently standing in front of it, you go ahead and
We're all sitting down and calming the fuck down!
Okay, with that, you now have Birdie grappled. Her speed is 0. She cannot move. Stuck onto those. You don't know what you're doing!
Elaborate!
Alrighty.
Orym circles around to, gets behind you and slaps you in the small of the back, and you need to make a dex save, 15.
Ouch.
20. Natural 20.
The bead of imprisonment smashes on her back, on their back, and does nothing. Nothing.
No.
But we haven't wasted it yet,
Yeah,
right?
that's it.
That was
right?
the
It smashes. It smashes.
Wow.
My God.
Well,
Okay.
we'll move to Plan B on that one.
I say
So it's 1 minute.
out loud to Birdie. I know you're trying to do the right thing, but from the looks of it, you're the bad guy.
Gives you a confused look.
How do you know the Nightmare King?
Knew it!
What? How?
I knew it!
What?
Look, some things are bigger than quabbles, and Ira's done some bad stuff in the past, but it's the only person that can help us with this thing that's much bigger than all of us.
Tried to kill us.
Perhaps he had some good points.
He mentioned he ran into you, but he didn't kill any of you.
We
Ira?
tried!
That was I remember we talked. They kept saying,
Of course I remember.
Look, we already knew there was some weird connection with you and that red Exandrian moon, but we only have the light of Catha in the Fey realm.
you don't have. Wait, you don't have the red moon in the Feywild?
Ruidus is terrestrial to Exandria. Only Catha's light from the Moonweaver finds its way to the Feywild.
Except now.
Except for about 7 or so years ago, it began poking through. And what many have been kind of figuring out, that's strange and odd. It's been offering some odd boons on that side that the Unseelie have been more than eager to try and utilize. And your father had, well, as part of his attempts to try and figure this out, he began to have visions, and nobody believed us. We beseeched the Seelie to help. They didn't believe us because we're, untrustworthy folk.
Criminals. You're criminals.
Okay.
That word doesn't really hold as much weight as you think it does in this group.
Especially not in this city.
Keep going.
Well, what do you mean visions? What kind of visions would he have?
He said he saw something about this red moon tearing through in the Feywild and just leaving devastation in its path. And in the center of it, he kept seeing you.
You?
You, her,
Me?
yes, Fearne.
Okay. How old are you now?
I mean, it's hard to keep on years, but, you know, I'm a healthy early 50, maybe.
That looks like it.
Aren't you 112?
How is that possible?
I'm a lot older than you.
You mentioned something strange about that. I get the feeling that maybe,
You've been gone for a very long time.
You shut up. You.
Here's the thing about the Unseelie Court. I understand that we all have our own very specific desires and needs and wants. And what I want, Fearne, is for you to discover your true potential. Look at you. You've almost killed me You've just decided to do what you want and not be in the little boxes that this world puts you in anymore. Come with me to the Feywild.
Right now?
If you'd like to.
No, she's trying to get in your head, Fearne.
She is. I can feel it. It's just, it's like Play-Doh up there. It's squeezing.
Just want to squeeze it.
Fearne just.
How long do you suppose that you will last? With all the courts turned against you.
All right.
30 days at least.
Enough mind games. You fucked with our head for the past several days. You've infiltrated our very comfortable family, and
Was it really comfortable?
yes. Yes, we may be a weird group of oddballs, but we can all at least trust each other.
Don't you
And we can't say that for you anymore.
Don't you have a lady talking to you in your head and nobody's really asked about it?
I do have a lady talking in my head, and you know what? She sounds a lot like you do right now.
Why? Because we have the same sort of accents or what?
No. Because she knows exactly what to say to get me to do her bidding.
You heard about the gnarlrock?
The what? Oh yeah, we've heard about the
I'm gonna command you to stop talking.
25.
Oh yeah, you super.
You can keep talking.
Wait. What do you know about the gnarlrock?
It's from the Feywild.
Yes, we know that.
Peace that you have is only a small bit of it, and everybody always ends up returning to it, for better or worse.
What's it do? It...
I don't know. It's just powerful artifacts.
In your head, you hear. You know Delilah's listening right now. Your machine. Are you trying to, what? Destroy the connection to the Feywild from Ruidus, or are you trying to destroy Ruidus?
Trying to blow up the moon?
Oh, we don't have that kind of capability, but we're just trying to.
But if you did, you would.
I mean, of course.
Excuse me.
If it's gonna hurt our girl, we blow up both moons. But that's not what we're trying to do.
That would throw the entire ecosystem off of Exandria.
I don't think it would actually have any effect.
That's not true. It's flat out there.
Yeah, there's nothing. There's no relation.
You've gotten the Chetney.
There's no relation to those things in the sky to us.
Well, no. Nana did send. Well, Maury sent me with something to give to you in case I saw you, and
What is it?
it's just a. It's
A rock or something?
yeah, it's just a little green gem.
Gem? Can I see it for a second?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay. I just want to see it.
Oh yeah.
I'll.
You look at it.
And
It's it looks like a green disc of glass. It's like rough on the edges, but it has like a smooth curvature to it, almost like a lens. But it's like a deep emerald coloration, and as the light hits it, it has almost like a slight rainbow flash across it, like an oil slick on a puddle. It is the best you can ascertain. It's not like a known magical item.
Okay.
But the best sort of term you can come to is what's called a weave lens.
A weave lens?
And you kind of pull it up, and as you glance through it, and you kind of move, kind of looking through it at everyone around you, every piece of magical equipment that your friends are wearing seems to be giving off a glow. And then if you focus on the glow for a second, you can't really, you're not sure the nature of it, but there's like patterns and letters and symbols across each of them.
Sure, but just devil's advocate here, because you've been pretty fucking chill, I gotta say. If we're gonna ask for trust on her behalf, maybe we should exercise some of our own.
What are you proposing?
Well, we don't dig around in their head, and in turn, she gives us a month, maybe a little less. And you get time to figure out what you need to figure out. You get to put your little green bottle cap on, we get to blow up the moon, and everybody goes away to wiser.
I like like this idea.
Is there any option in leaving this with some sort of agreement for you? Because Chetney has a nice little plan, but feels like this kind of lies on you to be receptive to it.
You get to be the hero. The end of the month, you bring home the crown and the Callaways.
Wow. And maybe your little Ruidus in the Feywild problem is also fixed. And you get to say you helped aid in that endeavor.
You have a month. You have a month, but I will be checking in. Because I don't trust you or your husband. And I don't necessarily trust that all of you will be able to get this job finished in the same efficient way that I would be able to.
That's fair. That's
Totally,
just call a spade
absolutely
a spade.
fair.
You shake hands, and she kind of pulls you in, and in your ear says, "If you touch a hair on Fearne's head, I will rip you asunder."
Even if she asks me to.
No response. What's your passive perception, by the way?
13.
Take your basic ass looks and get the fuck out.
I change into Ashen and I'm like, so long, motherfucker! I'm angry!
Birdie slams the door. Takes a deep breath.
That was pretty funny.
It was actually pretty good. That was.
You don't sound like that.
I'm so sorry.
I say oh wait, no, I can't talk in your head. I just look at you.
I make eye contact with you. What? In your head, you hear? What are you trying to say something?
Yes. Shit, what was I gonna say?
In my head, I just hear.
I remember what I was gonna say. I'm so sorry. I was just so wrong.
Just hold music.
Would you be comfortable if I told her that you were Ruidusborn as well, or should we keep that a secret?
I mean, I don't know if I am Ruidusborn, Fearne, but
I think you are.
we'll talk about it.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
I'll take
I
your
don't have a
lead.
problem with that.
Okay. Yeah.
In your head, you hear, we might have something in common.
That'd be crazy.
It's pretty exciting.
That'd be cool.
Oh, by the way, she's gonna have a harder time following us, and she pulls out a ring on her hand. It's like this dark kind of metallic ring. I got the sense that she was following us somehow, and it'll be the first time that I've encountered someone from her kind who have used this to track us down. So,
Oh, wait, you got that from her?
what do you think, that handshake was trying to seal a deal?
Nice. Like mother, like daughter.
I told you I'm a thief, unabashed, not a liar. But
Laudna, real quick, looks at Imogen and sends you a message. Should we tell them about Otohan? What if that's who they're referring to?
Getting worse.
Like as far as Hondir goes?
Well, the people who also know.
I mean, we should probably tell them.
Okay. Okay.
It's getting worse.
Gotta match the volume, guys.
That tracks, honestly.
hello? Hondir? It's Birdie. Hondir?
Why do I hear more voices? There are more foots. I think you're being followed.
No, they're with me.
Who's with you? Are you fucking me?
No, just
So low-key.
look. We need.
Real subversive.
Look, we've gotten to kind of a situation here, and we're the timeline we're running on, and I think I have some folks who are at least curious about our work.
Let me see them.
And you hear the trapdoor pushes over, dust kind of clouds out in the space a little bit, and you immediately see there, like standing beneath this kind of hunched, crotchety-looking goblin.
So this is, you trust these people?
Well, I mean, I kind of have to. It's my daughter, Fearne.
Yes.
Hondir.
Hello, Hondir. We're
Hello.
very trustworthy. You can trust all of us very, very much.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay, 22.
22. Kind of gets up a little further in the light. Now that you can see more light on his face, you see this like kind of jet black Van Dyke that goes into like a gray point at the bottom that kind of fizzles out a little bit. Like, and he kind of like adjusts the monocle and glances in, kind of squints the other eye, goes,
It does look like your daughter, I guess. The rest of you look as rough and tumble as anyone from the city. Just so you all are aware, I'm happy to bring you within, but also I have everything ready to explode. So if you do anything, I take you all with me. Good? We good?
Seems fair.
All right, come inside, come inside.
I'm a graduate of the EOS Sanctuary.
The you.
EOS Sanctuary.
EOS Sanctuary.
Or seminary, my apologies. When we began to discover this theoretical pattern of this coming solstice, and the places of unity began to work in a way where our theories were pushing it towards the Hellcatch. Meaning at the time of the solstice, we believe that one of these nexuses will be relocated somewhere here in the valley. A number of my compatriots have been continuing our research on our own. Through private funding, investors, allies that we had, but even they've begun to dry up, or worse. Anybody who's been tied to our work has either gone missing or befallen tragedy.
Does the name Grim Verity mean anything to you?
You look and see an immediate sense of acknowledgement and briefly worry, and then an exhale. Yes, so you indeed know more than you let on. I am one of many members of the Verity. I say many, but there is a handful still around. We've lost members as of late.
We're trying to follow a trail. You didn't by any chance know the Lumas twins, did you?
You knew them?
They were more recent members of our band who, unfortunately, their excitement got them in places that they should not have been.
Hey, do you know anything about
the Grey Assassins?
Yes.
They've removed at least half of our members in just the past couple of years. We were once a comparably sprawling network of a good 40 or so academics from all over Exandria. We were trading notes, we were sharing reports and theories. It was an exciting thing. We were looking to be published. We were seeking elements, threads that connected beyond just the study, of those astronomical. But then doors began to close. And some of us got frustrated and began to push back. And that's when we started losing him.
What? You saw the Grey Assassins in person, right?
Some of them across the ocean.
What did their armor look like?
The Grey Assassins is apt. They were wrapped in really dark colored leathers and ragged cloth. Nondescript, their faces covered. You could barely see their eyes. And when they died, they left no trace. They melted away in front of us.
Well, they tried to get your Wind Queen, right?
Took a shot at it, yeah.
What does she have to do with ley lines and...
Who are you speaking of?
The ruler of the air, Shari, and Teldori.
I'm not familiar with this person, but I don't call anyone of this type within our membership.
If she were a member, I don't know.
And it was on one of our excursions out here that we I decided that after some frustrated conversations with a few folks that we didn't like so much back home, we wanted to bring you into this world. So we took a little vacation out here and we held up in the verdant expanse of Tal'Dorei and just watched the stars, and the night that I gave birth to you, something weird happened. Had a weird red moon that I didn't really know much about. It just kind of lit up suddenly, glowed brightly. The entire forest was given this kind of crimson hue I'd never seen before, and it was ominous but weirdly beautiful. And you came into the world screaming, and we thought it was a beautiful omen. Then Ollie got into a bad patch of some root and herbs, as we like to gather and imbibe in, and kind of went down a bit of a mental rabbit hole for a couple days. But when he came back, he had this terrible dream. We thought it was this idea that same red moon that brought you into this world was following us. And when it was going to find us or find you, it was going to... Well, he saw that red just eat away at the Fey realm. That light just burn it into dust. And we thought it was a dream, but then within the next year, it showed up briefly in the sky. And some folks around that we were familiar with and lived on the outskirts like us saw it too, but then it went away. But we still felt it was there, and so we started asking questions. We got laughed out of the Sealy Court. We got laughed around, and then we went to the darker side of the Feywild, and there, once we passed a certain threshold, there it was. Like that moon was being obscured. We saw this meeting, this clandestine sort of gathering of some of the higher court members. And they were meeting with some folk not from the Feywild, dressed too nice and terrestrial, like a flare. And they were all building, in the process of designing this machine that was focused towards the red moon. And we just got a bad feeling about it. We didn't know what it did necessarily, but it couldn't have been good, right? Not with what Ollie had seen. And so we began to inquire with the Unseelie and tried to warn them, not let them know what we saw, but we don't normally deal with the folk over there. We've had a few dealings, things are a bit fluid over there when it comes to interests and alignments, and they just kind of laughed it off, but got real aggressive in pushing us beyond the borders. So, we got enough gumption, had a couple drinks, and broke in and stole what looked like the shiniest piece of that machine and ran. By the time we figured out what we had, Moodtine Crown, we realized this was a little more intense than even we were expecting, but something that powerful was sitting in the middle of the machine. Maybe it slowed them down a bit.
This is the Moontide's crown?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's we have in our machine back home right now.
Those Exandrian people that you said
throne.
You saw, what did they look like? Did you see a woman with gray hair kind of over to the side, intense armor?
Yeah, like a red cloak.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you know this one?
I know this woman.
Yeah, it was her and another.
She's here.
Oh.
That woman, she's here.
Do you see the goblin like, she's here?
She goes and like grabs the stone.
No,
and, like,
not like right now, but she's in Bassuras. She's running the Paragon's call.
I see her in my dreams.
Otohan.
Ooh. I don't know this person, but if they are nearby, then maybe I need to relocate again.
You're... The army.
I think so.
That you see.
What if they're the Grey Assassins?
I think that's exactly what they are.
I see a woman, and behind her, there's so many people, and they step out from behind her more and more and more, and they... What if they're all connected?
There's no way this is a coincidence.
It's getting harder to deny.
Absolutely. And if she has the ability to greet you in your dreams, that's obviously an ability that spreads far beyond just you, right?
There's been another recent finding that has focused and redoubled the Grim Verity's efforts and interests as of late. A member of ours who is a researcher in Vasselheim discovered ancient texts from as far back as the founding. The Verity believes it references in the highest temples that there is a time before Ruidus. There are texts where Catha was the only moon above. A period of time in the founding in which Ruidus did not exist. The other thing is apparently some of these texts refer to two gods that don't exist in the Pantheon.
What?
And haven't since.
Are they
forgotten deities?
imprisoned?
There's a member of the Verity who, their specialization is in traversing various realms.
What's their name?
Ryn.
Oh.
What? Who?
Ryn?
That's right, Planewalker Ryn.
Oh, right.
Hang on,
Wait,
wait.
how do we know? How do we know?
Hang on.
Another campaign?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, you briefly went into a laboratory in the Fireplane in campaign
That was theirs.
2. That was theirs, yeah.
That's right. And they were stowed away. And they were in hiding.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's a fucking cool
We know.
name.
You said pages were taken from. Is that what you're talking
Yeah, the
about?
Lumas twins had texts that had information about my mother that was stolen by the Grey Assassins. My mother was also Ruidusborn.
Huh. Also Ruidusborn.
And she,
Like you.
And she has dreams, wild dreams about a large storm and a
Both
red
of them
storm.
look at each other. Look back.
They're connected.
What was your mother's name?
Liliana?
Leona Timhold.
Yeah. Do you know her?
We've met the Otos a while ago. She was a number of our, how do I put it? Our volunteers for part of the Oman archive study.
Yeah.
See, there are Ruidusborn all across Exandria and have been for as long as the moon's been out there. But the rate of Ruidusborn births has been slowly accelerating in recent times. This was part of the study in here. There are occasionally rare Ruidusborn that exemplify a stronger connection with the Ruddy Moon.
How long ago did you last see Liliana?
Gosh, it must have been 12 years, maybe.
12 years?
I've been away from most civilization for a...
Where was she when you saw her?
She was in Eos. She came to the seminary to be part of the research. She was gifted with incredible capabilities. She was able to see beyond her eyes. She was able to affect the world around her in incredible ways. She was one of a few that had come to us, exhibiting these powers.
I look down. Is there a bottle or anything on the ground? I'm just gonna pick it up and drift it over to him.
And it seems that line of fortune seems to follow on your path. Ah, I am so sorry.
Why would you have to apologize? I mean, these are gifts.
They are, but it horribly connects you to all the things that are coming.
As the crawler skirts around the outside and the hum turns into from a purr to a heavy, loud, guttural growl. Takes off down the street as you follow up behind it. The two crawlers then begin coasting down the streets, past buildings, rounding the side, heading down the straight eastern thoroughfare in the center cross streets of Bassuras, then coasting out in the eastward direction. Some folks, of course, watch you guys as you go by, and passing through a number of streets and winding alleyways, eventually you pass to the exterior gates of the Carmine Curtain, the large red walls that mark the exterior of the central part of Bassuras. From there, you careen through the skids, evading any sort of ruffians that are standing in the middle of the street as folks kind of like, oh, dart out of the way as you just kind of scream on by. And then as the skids begin to eventually dissipate, there before you, the open, cracked, dusty expanse of the Hellcatch Valley. You push forward, leaving but a trail of dust in your wake towards the horizon. Quick addendum.
We got a lot of
Quick
info.
addendum.
Quick addendum.
Quick addendum.
You pull off for a second, and the birdie goes,
What? Is this
"Oh,
some abbreviation?
fucking wait, Hondir."
Oh yeah,
Smash cut to them. You all exiting the city a second time with Hondir on the back, going like, "I can't believe you left me behind. This is stupid bullshit." As it just cruises off in the distance. As you're hitting up the edge of the bridge to hit the actual stone floor of the beginning of this mesa, there is a of dust, like a bunch of earth has suddenly moved. There's some sort of a mechanical apparatus or a wire-raised apparatus, like a metal grating or a net or some sort of a sudden trap-like fence line just shoots up out of the ground that pretty much covers the lengthway of the width of the bridge about 40 feet beyond the entry point where you guys are now landing on the mesa. It would be the drivers of both, which would be Birdie Calloway and you, to go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw. As you tear into this space directly after landing, a shadow begins to emerge from around one of these rocks. You watch as from around the edge, a large, metallic, automaton-like war machine curls around the corner with 3 tripod-like legs.
One of the big ones? One of the big ones?
Red flags adorn on its back, kind of flowing behind it. You can see what looks to be at quick glance 3, maybe 4 figures on it across the center of it, and one on top.
Does it look like the same one Otohan was riding on?
There's the mammoth one, which is the much larger one that's more of like the people mover. This one looks a little bit smaller, more compact. It's maybe about, I'll say, 18 to 20 feet tall.
Good God.
And about 15 feet wide, side to side.
Good God.
That's the smaller one. At a quick glance, you can see there are a number of mounted rifles of different sizes along the center platform. And on the top, one massive, muscular half-giant sits there holding the back of what looks to be a column of multiple rifles just attached and affixed in multiple layers. You saw something like this at the front of Imahara Joe's shop that stared you down for a moment before you entered. But this one is manned, mounted, and you can see what looks to be well over 24 different types of barrels with multiple inputs for black powder caps at the ready. And as it kind of whips around to both of you, and as it stands there, blocking where you're currently standing, during this pause, one of the figures kind of stands up and puts up a large metallic hand cone that he holds over the front of his face. You see this look be like a middle-aged man, receding hairline cut short, kind of a silver gray coloration with a little bit of salt and pepper in it. Face covered with some sort of a cloth mask, but similar kind of red streaks down the front of its face. He looks armored, and he currently has one arm resting over one of the mounted carbines. He leans forward and shouts,
You have been marked by his eye, and must pay tribute. Leave your belongings among the stone, and rock. He's scarred, and leave in peace.
Leave our belongings amongst the rock. And what?
Then leave in peace.
Oh, leave in...
Across the bridge that we just came.
Back where you came from, yes.
Oh.
What if we need to go forward, though?
Is there like a toll we can pay?
He stands back and like talks to the other guys, and there's one guy up there who's like wearing this kind of furred cloak who kind of talks to them for a bit and kind of shakes his head.
Leave your things and then you can continue.
Who says who?
Says us.
I don't even know you.
I think they're the Fists of the Ruiner.
Oh.
Which is a faction. Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's right.
We don't have a lot of belongings here. Just like a backpack full of stuff. Do you just want our backpack?
It's like another pause. The guy at the top, you see him like kind of like flex his arms and hold on to the back of this machine.
You may leave your backpacks on the ground, your weapons, any money you have, and your automatons.
I'm just gonna pick up the backpack from the car that we have, from the crawler that we have, and go set it down by the leg of the ruin crawler.
Okay.
We also have some coupons.
There's some platinum in there. I don't know, but we're keeping our weapons and our crawlers. We've got to go. I mean, like, if you really want to have...
You are right, you do not know who I am. But I will change that. For you will, after this day, tell everyone you meet that you met the ire of Marikris. Marikris.
I'm gonna use my mage hand to set the timer off and blow up the bomb.
Nice.
How much time?
Is it close enough to it to do it?
I set it on next to the leg of the ruin
Okay,
crawler.
You did.
Yeah.
How much time are you putting on there?
Can it be instant?
Like instant, because we're far enough away.
Okay. Great. Now, the rest of you, if you would...
There is like a momentary flash of light before the sound hits you. This massive explosion that suddenly rocks the ground beneath it. You see stone go flying in all directions. For a brief second, especially all of you at this proximity, your ears immediately ring, and the smoke that surrounds it sits there, and you see the front leg of the tripod is fucked up. It's still like holding itself there, but it's like, and you can see one of the blue metallic energy, like arcane energy devices that's affixed to it is like partially dislodged and kind of like roughly hanging, and the front of it is just covered in dark black soot and stone.
I'm gonna try to aim, just point my hand straight up to where I'm pointing at him.
Mm-hmm.
My eyes are gonna flare white, hair flies up in the air, and I'm gonna lightning bolt
Shit, okay.
straight up through the gun into him.
Through the scope. Cool. So you can hit 3 guys and the vehicle all in one go.
Cool.
Yeah. So it unleashes this torrent, this angry torrent of like white, kind of lavender purple lightning that just streaks upward, blasting out into the sky above.
23.
23.
Nice.
So the leader of them, Marikris, like goes ooh, and ducks down and just kind of like singes the top of his head, and energy's arcing all across the metal. It's conductive material, so now the energy kind of crackles through the midsection where they are. Guy behind him turns and goes, "What?" Gets blasted in the chest. 21 points damage on him. He had already been damaged by the explosion of the bomb earlier, and he just gets completely incinerated.
Oh.
Yeah. There is. So here's the thing. There are right now 237 charges loaded into this, 237 bullets.
Oh wow.
Cover, at least.
I'm gonna say the ones that are surface struck by this go off. So I'm gonna put that at about 60.
Oh, God.
That's 60 shots that all at once out of the front of this gun. It is aimed loosely in the direction of the front of this vehicle. So I'm gonna go ahead and take, with disadvantage, a number of shots at everybody in the way here as it just arcs in a.
You get TVK to party.
Hondir.
Hondir.
Hondir, I mean, sorry.
Oh no.
Hondir. Hondir is unconscious. Hondir's just like, what's going on? And falls onto the ground.
We can fix this. We can fix this.
The front of the Katria Special bursts and fans open and currently is non-functional.
Yeah! Good job.
The guy who's like slapped the side of it, who is wearing like the kind of the furred cloak, is gonna go ahead and looking down at everybody, put his hands up in front of him, and as he begins to turn his hand in this like spherical formation, this small like sphere of greenish pale energy begins to form that drips through the spaces before he unleashes it down, and it kind of glides downward before exploding outward like that.
Oh no.
Okay, so that's 21 points of acid damage.
I'm down.
Oh! Oh no! Oh, you're our healer.
And it's still burning.
Oh, what is it?
It's acid.
So it's everywhere.
What? Sorry,
Imogen?
Imogen, what the fuck? So now you're making me do it. Now you're in my head. Now you're in my head.
It's all right. It's dangerous right now, so we're all a little.
A little bit on
It's
edge.
fine, Brennan. It's fine. Just keep going.
Touche.
Acid.
Sorry, which? Natural one? Okay. 21 points of acid damage.
I'm.
Laudna is unconscious. Imogen, I'm gonna keep saying
Holy
it.
shit.
You're unconscious.
You're unconscious.
Okay, I am going to cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level on FCG. Calm down, everybody.
Sweetest thing Fearne has ever done.
I will use half my movement to get up on a wheel. Seeing my friend Laudna on the ground, I'm gonna roll over to her, and I will also cure wounds her. Wait, do I have?
Do you have that prepared?
I don't think I do. Wait, that can't be right. I'm a cleric.
You're a healer without a cure wounds prepared.
I have healing word. I always have something. I'll do healing word, I guess, on her.
At the end of your turn, you take.
Oh, I'm still covered in acid.
How do you get acid off you?
Maybe I'll lick it off with my tongue.
Oh my god.
No.
I rolled so many 4s, that was ridiculous. You take 17 points of acid damage.
I'm down again.
Oh my god.
How do you get acid off, actually, now that you mention it?
I should have licked it off.
But it has run its course. The acid has finished.
Bullet kind of grazed Laudna's face, and so my mouth is kind of like torn open, and you can see like exposed teeth and gum. And I just like feel that, and I grab into it with my fingers, and I rip even further, and start dislocating my jaw as I take on my form of dread.
Some Beetlejuice
That is
shit.
so cool.
I love it.
19 points of damage.
19 points of damage. How do you want to do this?
Oh my god. All right. So, I will shoot as I'm just slowly walking towards. I just keep shooting the scorching rays.
Ooh, yeah.
As I'm staring at it.
Just walking towards him. He's like standing there with his rifle over his shoulder. He's like reloading it on top of it as it's cruising away, and then all of a sudden glances over towards you, the smoke kind of framing him. He growls. The first one burns. The second one hits the side of the thigh, and the gun just flies out of its grip. And he looks back at you for the third one. And how do you finish him?
I would love for him to fall off and then I can stand over him.
Okay.
Shoot
So
him
he,
in the chest.
the second one that hits him, he tumbles back, impacts the ground. He's there like, something is hurt. As he hits the ground, he's like, oh, and is trying to roll over, clutching into himself. He's barely conscious as you kind of begin to walk up to him as he's now fallen back onto this space.
I'll walk up and I'll just say, I'm gonna take your stuff now.
Oh, shit.
I'll get him
I'm gonna attempt to sleight of hand.
Did Birdie still have acid damage at the end of her turn?
Let me see if Birdie. No, Birdie did take full damage. You're right, she did.
Wait, is she down?
So Birdie might be down, just so you're aware before your turn, because
You're right. So she goes out and casts sleep on him.
Oh no!
Leans into the controls and. The sleep spell ends because she's no longer
The minute she went
concentrating on it.
unconscious,
And he starts waking up and goes. And full on drives over him.
Oh my Is he dead? God!
Yeah, she runs over him.
Oh my god!
And then collides into the ruin crawler with the.
Laudna is going to kind of climb over and start moving towards the crawler.
Spider crawl.
Over there?
Towards the crawler. I'm doing a full 30 feet. And I'm going to throw darkness on the crawler.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm casting it. You cast
it
a
sticks
place
to it
on
like
it,
light?
so I'm sticking to it. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
No, man, it's gonna start slamming into the trees.
You can see the archway that leads into the shaded interior of the mountain rock. As you step inside into this kind of hallway tunnel that leads within, you can already see clusters of numerous rain barrels that are set on the side that are kind of towards the edge of the platform that collect the monsoon rains as they do come through. And within the inside of this tunnel, you already get the sense that this is an old, maybe long abandoned safe house, or maybe once a small brigand lair. The hallway opens into what looks almost like a living room, a living chamber. Within this space, it is a cluttered workshop filled with slightly broken furniture, ragged carpets, scavenged storage crates, and uneven shelving bolted into the sides of the rock wall. It is a mess in a quaint, if scattered way. There are potted trees that have overgrown the pots and have risen up with their boughs and the leaves and branches reaching out into the stone. There's no sunlight in this chamber, but they're all growing lusciously within this room.
That's a good word.
Thank you. You can see there are colorful patches of flowers that are kind of dotting up in spaces between the cushions of some of these kind of like rickety, scavenged wicker chairs and seats. It is like this tiny little vibrant garden in the middle of shadow. At this point, Birdie's like taking her helmet off, her goggles, and setting some stuff down. Takes her bag that she had gotten from Imahara Joe's and kind of sets it over by a far door that is currently closed off. And well, welcome home, everyone. We tried to turn it into a little chunk of home best we could, and we didn't know how long we'd stay, so we just do a little bit day to day, and it's kind of, I don't know, it has like a nice homey space, I think.
It's wonderful.
It's amazing.
Oh my goodness, this is just a dream.
Really done amazing things with this little hut. Oh, so good.
Glancing up towards the beastly apparatus, you see an elven man, shaggy dark brown hair, kind of suntan skin, a fair layer of soot kind of smeared and dust placed upon the exterior of his kind of linen outfit and clothes. He has a satchel of tools to one side, who's kind of looking up at it for a second, kind of glances back as he hears footsteps and looks. Oh my God.
Hi.
Fearne! And runs up and like just brings you in this big bear hug, and you can see like he's about a good foot shorter than Fearne. This man of fine fey elven features, a bit sallow in the face, but kind of a rugged handsomeness to him. His eyes have almost a golden sheen to their coloration when it pokes through the bit of like shaggy hair that's in the middle of his face. But as he kind of just holds you, and you can manhandle him if you really want to, although not with your strength maybe.
I pick him up. Just take us out.
Oh, love, it's been so long.
I'm so much taller than you.
Yeah, it's been some time you've grown up. That's,
I haven't. I've grown up quite a bit. It's been a very long time since you guys have been gone.
You're not wrong.
What you thought was a part of the machine, you now see are some long bent limbs that clutch it from each side and legs that wrap around it. And out of the corner, you see a familiar pale face come around with long, pointed fey ears, jet black, glistening eyes, and a big, wicked grin. You can see a heavy set of goggles over the eyes, and what looks to be a dark leather, like an apron of some kind that's around the body, and these long gloves that go past the elbows. Hi, friends. And he slowly begins to descend like a spider crawling down his web.
Does he still have his little teeny top hat?
There is no tiny hat on his face at the time.
Eyes on Ira. I say to Ollie.
Instantly in it again. Yeah.
Hi, we're Fearne's friends.
You're all keeping eyes, and suddenly with an unnatural speed, he's like right up there, close to your group, kind of hunched forward, glancing. The goggles still on. His hands reach up and slowly take them off, and it's odd to see like the dark lenses and then just dark lenses left behind as he removes them and sets them off onto a table without looking away.
This is certainly a surprise. I heard there was company coming, and I wasn't expecting acquaintances. I do apologize for the means in which we left off last time. Things are complicated.
Oh, it's okay.
Is it?
I don't know. Well,
We're really sorry.
We're sorry?
For blowing up his laboratory.
What, didn't he try to kill us too?
did he kidnap children?
He did.
You seem to be a creative lot. After all, you found where I was staying. You found what I was up to, and you thwarted it. Impressive. And trust me when I say, if I wanted to take you all out then and there, I could have. But I sensed a kindred scent here in Callaway and gave you enough time before the collapse of the tower to make your way out. And it seems you did so congratulations. This is indeed what I requested from Morrigan. Quite happy with what she was able to achieve. Here, Ollie, take a look.
As you're pulled along to what looks like the front of the device, and it is this odd, strangely shaped thing. You're in the shadow as well. It's like being pushed in front of a pile of intentional garbage, like someone had just mashed a bunch of trash together, but you come to glance at it up close, and you can see everything is meticulously placed. And he seems to almost envelop around you as he kind of places and pushes you towards a front piece and reaches over and grabs part of the device and leads it down. And it almost has like a mask or some sort of a place about the size of a head that he kind of begins to lower towards your face.
Now comes the real fun.
And he hits one dial and turns it, and a lens clips over. And as it does, the blue goes to like a deep, deep cerulean navy blue. And you can just barely see the horizon at this point. It looks like twilight in the middle of the Hellcatch. You can just see kind of the base outline of the surrounding mesa. But what you do see looks almost like an aurora borealis glow in the sky beyond you. This long kind of drifting, it's like a river of faint light just kind of drifting in the sky above. And you hear at the corner, at the back of your ear, Ira's voice, "Can you see it?"
What am I looking at?
This is one of the ley lines that is drifting across Marquette.
Oh, fuck.
Until you see a small, red, spherical object. The red moon of Ruidus in the center of your vision.
Now, what can you see?
Well, it looks like Ruidus, but a little bigger. What do I see?
Roll perception check.
Come on. This is the whole
I
campaign
know.
here.
I know.
Campaign.
Everybody's counting on
It's
you.
like when Imogen biffed it that first time.
Yep.
Crazy roll.
And oh man, it's not good. 7. It's not
7.
good.
Well,
It was a crazy roll.
you focus in, and you can see in a moment of clarity the texture of the red moon. It looks almost like it's swirling clouds of red. Like someone had thrown glitter in a pool of blood and just let it swirl.
Whoa.
And it's slowly the texture shifting. And the more you try and focus, the more your brain blurs over. The more like you start, almost feels like drowsiness, but not. Has your mother told you about your birth?
Yes, she said I was born during one of these strange times.
Right. So we were laying low in Exandria after a bit of a fun excursion we had in the Fae. Sometimes it's easy to jump over here and just lay low for a while, so folks get calm and simmer down before you return. Several years later, in the outskirts of the Fae realm, it just showed up in one of the shaded regions. Now, you were too young to really tell much about this, but I have from my mother what she calls the squint. I get little glimpses of possibilities when I'm in danger. Little flashes of choices and pick the better one. It's what kind of kept us so good at the work we did. But when I saw that red moon invading our sky, I had more than a squint. It was a full vision. I saw the red light of that moon widening like a hungry mist, decaying the life and green from our homeland, leaving dust and dull red light in its wake. I saw our home crumble. I saw what was Birdie's silhouette standing in the center of the light, unmoving, reaching for it before it took us all. But looking at you now, I'm not sure it was her silhouette. And that was when an unseelie agent came to us. Threatened us, said not to speak to anyone about what we saw. We knew there had to be more to the story, so we followed them back to the Sablecast grounds outside of the Unseelie. And there, we pierced the veil of an illusion they put up and saw that red moon still hanging the day as long as when we saw it there. Don't know why they're keeping it under wraps, but I don't know. Seeing it unfettered by dark Fey illusion, there was a cabal of their agents there, conspiring with the Exandrian military. And we do what we do best. We see something we want, we take it. Your mother and I, we kind of snuck in to their operation. We stole something that looked real important from the center of it, didn't know what it was at the time. And then we ran. And we took it to Morrigan to figure out what it was. She told us something a bit more important than we anticipated. And we knew they'd be after us. Couldn't think of a better place to keep you safe than with the old Fate Stitcher herself. No one's gonna come into her land. Not looking for you, anyway.
If you don't mind my asking, how did you and Birdie meet, sir?
That's a great question.
That's a good story. I was youngish, I'd say. I was kind of a wandering troupe of singers that were just passing through some of the, grass-sharded glades there in the Feywild, and we just, we used the music as a way to assuage some of the more temperamental parts of the realm. We were running a good thing for a while, and then there was one small village that I got out-fleeced. There was this young girl, bright and beautiful, just vibrant as the day is long, bubbly, and she took me for everything I was worth. And I was angry for a second.
And then we laughed it off over a few drinks. And I realized I loved her. So I asked her to come with me. And she went, no. And she asked me to come with her. And I said, yeah. So I left the troop, stayed back. We had some good times just wandering, finding adventure, messing with others, and then I guess the rest is history.
Just out of just out of curiosity, how many years ago was that you met?
I met Birdie.
Yes.
Oh, that's about 11, 12 years in the calendar.
Oh. So you've been here for 6 years.
A little over 6, yeah, I think so. Although it's kind of hard to keep. Sorry, we have to keep asking this fella for his calendar.
How does that work?
What?
There just seems to be a bit of like a weird timeline discrepancy because you see here, as Fearne says, she is pretty certain she's 120 years old, and you seem to think that she's definitely not that.
Yeah, like
By your
6.
logic, she's 6 years old.
Well, no, then they were here
we
for
left her
6
behind.
years.
She was still a young girl. She wasn't that young.
Oh, sorry, 9.
All right.
Age was a little fuzzy, but yeah.
I thought, I mean, I was going to say you look a bit old for like 14.
What?
But look, magic between the fairy realm can get a bit strange, but even that seems a bit extreme. And at which point you hear the voice of Ira kind of echoing from the other side of the device go, well, you left her with Morrigan. She's a collector of things. And if she knew she had limited time, she may have stretched it for all it's worth. Wouldn't be the first time. Your caretaker was a tall one.
Very tall. Very, very tall.
How tall?
She's probably...
13, 14
Yeah, I was gonna
feet,
say
maybe?
15, maybe 14 feet.
But how do you get height from someone who's not related to you?
Maybe she just, with time, made me grow a little bit.
Encouragement?
Encouragement. Yeah.
She's, like us, one of those outlier fae. She keeps to herself. She's kind of a collector of sorts. She plays guardian to one of her own fanes, place of power, and she does favors for those who ask in exchange for things to add to her collection.
Completely outside the court.
Hey, she's what you would call, crone, hag, all sorts of other types in that realm take variations of that, but she has no coven. She's a strange one in her own right. Don't know how old she's been. She's always been around since I have.
I have a question. So, in order for Mori to do favors, you have to give her something.
Eh?
Oh. Was I something that you gave for a favor?
Well, no, we did. And he looks over his shoulder up towards Ira, who's in the process of installing the weave lens. You can see him kind of clutching the green circle of glass off to one side as he's like pulling aside bits and beginning to install it. And you see Ollie's face just go pale. Looks over at Birdie, and she like sits down in a chair.
Oh. This adds a bit of a wrinkle to the story.
And with that, it's done. Closes it. Gets her down. Who would like to take the first look now that it's complete?
You can raise your hand
Yeah.
higher.
Maybe Imogen.
I would like to.
Step right up, my dear.
Friend, you should really ask why the Ancili court asked your parents to stop building the telescope the first time.
What? What should you ask? I didn't hear it. What did you say?
Were you building the telescope the first time?
So, who are you saying this to? This is to...
First time.
Ollie.
What?
What?
No.
Am I understanding you correctly, Chet?
Well, look, when people have holes in their story, it usually means they're just leaving out the most important parts. No offense, Ollie, but I mean, you see the Unseelie courts building a machine that looks like this, but you don't know what it did. So you ran up and you stole the shiny piece right out of the middle of it, and then came over here and built the same thing.
We didn't build the same thing.
What was the Unseelie court building?
I don't know.
Who does?
Probably those who were there meeting with them.
How do you know you're not building the same thing? If you don't know what it was.
And why do they want the crown back so bad?
Ira, what we building? And Ira's still there, just holding Imogen. Kind of gently pushes her face into the mass. As you glance through the light, you see before you the green sheen across what is almost a dark universal sky, speckled with stars. And there in the center is the slightly muddied red of Ruidus, the familiar sight, both in your dreams and previous viewing through a telescopic-like device. But there's something you've never seen before around it. There is a shape that encompasses it, clear as day, like a field of energy, like something that encapsulates it. Not unlike some of the magical force fields and such that you've learned to generate and create, but it completely encases it. And it has a texture like a lattice weave, like an extremely powerful gathering of different magical threads that create this textured fence-like weave that just seals it off
Does
entirely.
it look like the ley lines all the way around it, or does it look more like a cage?
It looks more like a cage, is the best way I can describe it. And it doesn't look quite like ley line energy. It looks like strong, distinct, unlike something you've seen before.
There's something being kept up there. It's a prison.
What do you see? Tell me.
I see a god that can't get out. Am I right?
It's the first time hearing of it.
Does it look like I see any breaks in that weave? Do I see anything that looks weaker or open? Yeah, I want to see.
Make a perception check.
Are you gonna? My hair is
You
standing
have
up.
a D6 if you want to use it.
Enhance.
It looks familiar.
Or it's
You said
unlike
it looks-
anything I've seen.
Unlike anything you've ever
Unlike.
seen.
Okay. Isn't that what that happened the last time? That happened the last time.
You can't reach your bead die. Oh yeah, she did.
I woofed it.
Completely
You
woofed
get
it.
a D6.
Doesn't matter. It's a
Completely
1.
Yeah,
It's the
plus
same
6.
thing I
Plus
did.
6, maybe.
The last time I looked, I got a 1 then too.
That's got a hanker. Okay.
But Orym, how will you reach?
There's a little stool over there.
Oh, okay.
We wheel up. Here we go. Nope. Natural 20
Oh!
plus 1. So 21 plus 27.
While the nature of this lattice-like field that contains the red moon evades you, your eyes catch a glint in the middle of the red storm. As like the device is scanning past the front of it. And it's moving away from it. you say anything?
I see a glint. Sure. I will reach out and grab Imogen's hand, which is right above me. I yank her over and duck my head down.
Now, you've seen a few storms in your time. Red clouds swirling angrily, aggressively, hungrily in your dreams, moving and consuming. Behind them, nothing but dust and shadow. As this device pushes past the layer of lattice, cage-like energy, pushing beyond the boundaries of your vision, the storm, clearer than it's ever been, you see it part for but a moment. And there's a city. And that's where we're in tonight's episode.
Oh, you can't do that!